video on the percent equation. And if you just watched my last video, it was on the percent proportion. Basically, this is yet another way of solving percent problems. So there are some notes that you'll need to know. And it looks kind of crazy, but here they are. And this is it. This is really everything you need to know. And once you know these things, this isn't that bad. Actually, in my opinion, it's even easier than the percent proportion. So the percent equation works like this. The word is means equals. And that kind of makes sense. 5 plus 6 is 11. The word of means to multiply. So you have to keep that in mind. When we see the word of, we're going to think multiply. Percents convert to decimals by dividing by 100. All right, so that's important. But I'm going to make this even easier. You can just move the decimal 2 places to the left. All right. Now, this will make more sense once we get going. Let's see. If you need to convert your decimals to a percent, all you have to do is multiply by 100, which is the same as moving 2 decimals to the right. And once again, we're going to go over this in a second, so don't panic if you don't understand what I'm talking about. And then finally, what means your unknown. And we're going to represent that with a variable. All right, so you're going to notice that we're going to run into problems where we're going to say, well, what is this? So let's take a look at a problem. And I have 3 examples because really, there's only 3 ways we can ask these questions. So here we go. It says 25% of what number is 72? So let's take a quick look. I have a percent, so I'm going to convert this percent to a decimal. So you can take 25 and divide by 100, and when you do that, you're going to get 0.25. Now, like I said, 25%, if you move the decimal over 2 spots, you'll get 0.25. Now, it says of means to multiply. So here, of. So I'm going to put my parentheses. Of what? Well, we don't know. Of what number? Well, we just said that if we don't know what it is, we'll call that x. So it's 0.25x is, and I'm kind of making myself a little crazy with all of these different colors, is equals 72. So that's it. So you might be saying, what are you talking about? That's it. So I'm just going to rewrite this whole thing real quick. Basically, it says 25%, which is 0.25 of, or I should say 25 hundredths, of some number, x, is 72. Now we're going to divide by 0.25, or 25 hundredths. And 72 divided by 0.25 is 288. X equals 288. You may be wondering how I did that in my head. And if you are, I'm going to explain. 0.25 or 25 hundredths is really 1/4. And this is a little bit outside of what you need to know at this point in time. So I really have 1/4 x equals 72. And I just multiplied both sides by 4 over 1. And when I do that, I get x equals 288. But don't worry about that right now. This one says, what percent is? So I have x equals 12 out of 20. So that's going to be 12 over 20. Now, if you convert, you might as well just do the percent proportion on this. But really, all you're going to do is you're going to say 12 divided by 20 is equal to 0.6. And then you need to multiply 0.6 by 100. Because we're looking for a percent. So anytime you have a fraction, you can convert it to a decimal and then multiply it by 100, and you'll get your percentage. So, for example, 2/3 is equal to 0.6 repeating. If I multiply by 100, I'm going to get 66 and 6/10 repeating percent. And the very last one, 40% of 60 is how much? Well, let's say here's my is. So 40% I'm going to change into a decimal. 40% is really 40 hundredths or 4/10. Of means to multiply. 60 is telling me what it is. Equals how much? Well, that's my unknown. So 4 times 6 is 24. Let's see. So it's going to be 24 equals x. That's it. It really just matters whether or not you can convert decimals and recognize the keywords. That's what you need to look for. All right? Hope this helps.